Lasting economic recovery can only be attained if the financial basis of the country are sound. To say that it's not the case today is an audacious understatement. The nationalist program is the only platform that seeks to make the United States economy more competitive, while at the same time restoring fiscal sanity on the federal level, ending the so-called debt crisis. 1. Repeal all corporate taxes. All forms of corporate taxes are harmful to the American economy, as only national businesses are required to pay them, while foreign corporations profit from fiscal evasion. The corporate income tax and the self-employment tax will be repealed, and American small businesses will be completely exonerated from taxation and government-operated social contribution. 2. Adopt a border-adjustable tax system. The current tax system is harmful both by its complexity and its extravagant rates, but also by the fact that it penalizes only domestic economic activity while giving a free pass to foreign corporations. In other words, we are taxing our own exports while encouraging product imports. A better form of tax system would be general import tariffs, or a form of sales tax or consumption tax. 3. End the immigration drain. The presence on American soil of a growing number of non-citizens represents for our nation an exorbitant financial burden. Speaking of reducing the spending while ignoring the costs of immigration is either insanity or demagogy. Ending illegal immigration and greatly reducing legal immigration is not only necessary for the preservation of our culture, our civilization, and national identity, it is also necessary for restoring an efficient government. 4. Prohibit the taxation of property. Government war on private property is nothing new. It is, in fact, a necessary element of the emergence of a communist regime. While some governmental agencies are more open in their assaults on American private property, BLM, the BATFE, others prefer to proceed more secretly. It's the case of the IRS and other revenue services. By virtue of the sacredness of property rights, the property tax, the capital gains tax, and all other similar extortion mechanisms will be abolished. 5. Replace the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is a catalyst for debt, inflation, artificial consumerism, trade deficits, and by extension, unemployment and poverty. The Federal Reserve is a private entity created by the traitor Woodrow Wilson and his internationalist banker collaborators. Even today, many of the investment banking firms controlling the Fed are foreign. Barclays is British. UBS is Swiss. A central bank with power over monetary creation in itself is not problematic. But one that is owned by foreign corporations is particularly dangerous, especially when the said corporations are European. We all know that Europe has only officially abandoned its colonization agenda. It will be replaced with a national bank. 6. Repudiate the U.S. national debt. The federal government can't contract debt in the name of the American people, as the American people aren't involved in the decision to contract it, unless you count the globalist masquerade known as elections with pre-selected candidates. All debts are those of the policymakers and their accomplices: president, congressmen, bankers, government officials, activists, media pundits, globalist lobbies, and labor unions. All national debt held by foreign bankers or foreigners must be canceled, as well as the debt held by the Federal Reserve. The shares of the debt held by Americans can be reimbursed progressively. 7. Mandate a balanced budget. Many globalist pundits affirm that balancing the budget is a step backward, whereas raising or eliminating the debt ceiling is somehow necessary or courageous. That is a delusion. Nothing is easier than to contract debt. Nothing is easier than to remain a prisoner of the European banking system and obediently subordinate ourselves to their institutional proxies, IMF, World Bank. A true nationalist initiative would be to repudiate the debt we owe to foreign banks, foreign holders in the Fed, and require that all future budgets be balanced.